nice.
Yeah. It was really great to do.
More tournaments should actually do that, huh?
I think so. I mean,
Getting exposure too.
yeah. It's important sometimes to do that. Paying people for their money, right? And their volunteer time.
Coming here. Oh. Gosh, she's good. She's good too.
So Annika plays a lot of pickle. She plays single pickle too. Mirta, how about you?
Not enough.
Yeah, I don't play.
Enough pickleball.
You know, it's hard, like, you know, when your time is very limited and with work, and
Right.
especially right now in paddle season, like, I mean, if I start a new job,
Right.
like,
Yep.
that's not.
Time. Yeah.
And reality is, I cannot travel to pickle and paddle the same season. Like, it doesn't work. In tennis season, as you know, it's like.
I really want to try walk on my golf game, so it's like I can't do everything.
You got lots of time for that next year.
I know.
What are you gonna do? Pickle?
Now I'm doing golf.
Sure.
And the next thing. Yeah, Mirta was figuring out this golf tournament.
So what are you gonna do next year? Paddle, pickle, golf?
I'm gonna do golf. And I'm gonna do I want to do paddle still. Maybe one more bonus year.
Sorry.
There already is bonus year today.
That means you have to be here. And,
Right. But I'd like to hear, but not all the time, every single day. Be nice.
I'm good whenever you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah. Good.
No worries.
What's going on?
They got
A little bit of a production delay on the live stream.
We got time. I just zoomed in for just like 5 minutes or so. Checked in, watched the live stream, and I couldn't hear you. Oh, nobody commentated for the 4 points I watched. It was impossible. I don't know.
They have one that's just streaming with no comments.
No, I was watching this one just as we were walking back from the. But maybe there was me. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know.
Can't really worry about that.
They've done it again. Johanna Runt and Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnish and Anna Maria Savori.
Hello and welcome to the APTA's Tour Series. We're live from the Hyde Park Golf and Country Club in Cincinnati, Ohio, bringing you the Midwesterns men's and women's NRT, sponsored by the APTA membership and local sponsors Roto-Rooter, Formidable Asset Management, Strauss Troy, Midnight Paddle, Skull U, High Grain Brewing Company, Total Platform Tennis, and Viking. I'm Mark Fischel along with Patty Hogan, bringing you the semifinal match between our number one seeds, Cooper Molenveld and defending champion, And they'll be facing against Prop and Maturka and Prop, our number 3 seeds. Heather Prop, the hometown pro. Welcome, Patty Hogan.
Hey, Mark, good to talk again. We are back in Cincinnati live, and we have an exciting semifinal matchup here. And like you pointed out, we have our 1 and 3 seeds. That's a great shot right here in the ad court of the one and only Annika Cooper. She's teamed up. There you go. You get a quick little shot of our new Detroit pro, Mirta Moldenveld.
Birmingham Athletic Club.
Birmingham Athletic Club, that's right. And then on the far side, on the left of your screen, the one and only Heather Prop, 25-year-long pro here out of Hyde Park. And her partner, the first time I get to see her play, Marie Maturka here, Mark.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, Maturka and Prop, as we talked about in our last match, played a tremendous match against Anish Zabori in Detroit at several match points before losing the third set tiebreak. So I'm really excited to see Maturka play.
Yeah, we've seen Heather Prop, and we've seen her shine over the years with a variety of partners, Mark. She's been in the semifinals, reached the semis of nationals a couple times in her career. She's one of those players that makes, I think, everyone she plays with a better player, Mark, maybe than they are out of the box, because she's got a lot of wisdom, wealth of experience in the sport. And they look at that match against Zabori and Hanish that they let go at Detroit after several match points against the number 1 team in the country, and they let it go. So I think they're looking to build on the success in that match, how close they got, and I think that they have a great shot here against Cooper and Molenveld.
Let's take a look at the draw and see how these two teams got here. And as you can see, there wasn't a lot of energy expended. I think each team lost 4 or 5 games total.
Yeah,
so
well,
I expect them both to be fresh, and it's just a perfect day for paddle in Cincinnati. Low 30s, no wind, no sun.
Yeah, Mark, and as we headed into the Midwesterns, we knew these teams would be, particularly probably find their way through to the semis. That's how good they are. And, this tournament, not a tremendous amount of depth in this draw. And like we referred to, this is one of the stops in the APTA Tour. There's a lot of events in this, following the new year here, and players are picking and choosing a little bit. But it's predictable that this was going to be our semifinal matchup, and I think it's going to be a great one.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Annika Cooper's wrist is and her ability to hit that 2-handed backhand, which is one of the finest shots in the game. Really, whenever you play Cooper, that's where you got to start. You got to talk about that 2-handed backhand, how she swoops down. She loves to take that ball high to low and punish you with it. Just a tremendous shot.
Mark, I don't know that much about Marie Maturka, but I did learn that she played tennis at Coastal Carolina. And we have a 19-year age difference between the team of Prop and Maturka out here.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to say what the ages are.
That would make Maria 12?
So we have a 19... and Mark, all joking aside, that's the amazing thing about the sport. The game's top players, go from their 20s, 30s, 40s into their 50s. And with the smaller court, smaller than a tennis court, you can cover it and you learn your shots. You play this game. You don't have to be able to cover every shot in the book, but you got to be able to cover your side of the court really well. And all the top players can do that.
Steve DeRose, well into his 50s, still one of the best players in the country.
A magician. A magician on a paddle court.
You ever seen anybody smoother than Steve?
No, just incredible fluid movements. And he smiles the whole time. Brings a lot of energy to it, Mark.
So we're playing no ad on the second deuce. Actually, I think that was just the first couple rounds. I think that this is going to be regular scoring, as will the men for the entire tournament be. Like the men and the women having different scoring systems this weekend, Patty?
Mark, we referred to this a little earlier, and like we said, just so people who are listening at home, the men can do whatever they want. If they said, we only want to play one set and make it a tiebreaker, the APTA goes along with what the input from the Players Committee, and they're going to choose that. And the women, like to traditionally play the longer matches, and players travel. They want to get their money's worth. They want to get out there and play as much as they can against players from different regions. So, little different approach. And a lot of the times, the competitive level of some of the earlier matches with the incredible depth on the men's side leads to these much longer matches. So, in one-day events, you've got to do some modified scoring to get everybody through. Here we go, Mark.
Okay, so this is Mirta Molenveld to serve, and I think she's serving to Heather Prop. And we're underway.
Yeah, Heather clued me in a little bit about Marie's style of play. Maturka's over there in the ad court, said she's a pretty aggressive player. She loves to force the action. She loves to blitz. She likes to create a little havoc because she's real confident with her hands in those kinds of situations. Plays a tremendous amount with the guys out in Cincinnati here, and just loves to force the action.
Pairs her very well with Heather. That pairs her very well with Heather Prop, who tends to play a much slower style, setting up her partner.
Yeah, and a lot of time, Mark, over the years, and the success of the matches, we see the partners whose styles kind of complement each other. They don't both have to have the same mindset or style of play. They've just got to be timely with everything.
And there you see Cooper jumping right on top of the net.
You see Molenveld close in, Mark, on that little backhand volley. Real quiet hands.
Molenveld, when she went to the two-hand backhand volley, I think that really helped her game a lot. With her size, I mean, height in paddle, as you're probably aware of, Patty, isn't always an advantage.
Yeah, the low volleys came a little more natural to me, Mark. No, but, Molenveld, to her credit, has put a tremendous amount of time into her game, as has Cooper. And all these players really committed to a high level of play. There's no question about the fitness level out here, I don't think, in this match at all with any player. And, the volley style of Molenveld, or just, I would say her volley overall, just, isn't that the biggest part, her area of improvement? Kind of the footwork and that volley, Mark.
Well, I always talk about the Hogan adage, which in any women's paddle match, the team that misses the fewest volleys is going to win. I always loved that, Patty. You taught me that years ago.
Just in the women's game, it's a little easier to open up the court with really good lobbing and off-speed shots, and, you can make your opponents play a lot of reaching kind of volleys. You've got to come up, the top players in the game always come up with those volleys.
That's One Love Cooper Molenveld. And I believe that's chair umpire Dave Nejelek.
And that's Maturka serving.
And Cooper is so good blitzing that way, and she really spots her forehand well. I would say she and Amy Shea are amongst the best in the game at finding that right hip of the right-handers in the volley.
We talked about that in the last match, and that's what I thought Murphy had to do a little bit more. Spot those drives just a little bit more thoughtful.
And there you see a little bit of the inexperience from Maturka. Hits that down up overhead in the side wire, which is probably a safe shot against 98% of the women, but not with Annika Cooper standing over there.
Yeah, and she didn't close off the middle at all, Mark. She just kind of, right here, you can see the real quickness in the hands, I would say, right out of the box with Maturka, but I also see her, the quickness with the hands, but flipping her paddle back and forth. I'm not sure she's going to be a committed backhand volleyer, and I think that's the only way you're going to stand up as a team to the offense that Molenveld and Cooper are going to bring.
I got it.
Well, look at Cooper's play. Oh, what a volley from Prop. Amazing get from Molenveld. Well, this is just an incredible point. We have to get this on replay.
Yeah, really good deep lob.
But Cooper looks great early. Look at her close the net. Great drop volley. Wow, some point.
I got to say, Mark, I love Maturka's court coverage right there. She saw that drop shot coming, and she got there. The ball was so close to the net, she just had nowhere to go unless she popped the ball straight up. I don't think she had an angle to get the ball over the net. That's a drop shot.
Great action.
That's Annika Cooper serving. Up 2-love. First set, it's semifinals from Cincinnati. Yeah, good shot. I think that ball was good. You can see right out of the box, Mark, Molenveld and Cooper testing Maturka to see what she's got. They probably have not played against her in a match, possibly, and maybe not even seen her play yet. Just when we were talking about the improved volley, Molenveld missed one, Mark.
She's definitely got great physical skills, no question about that. Her movement, her hands.
Yeah, it's that match experience that just comes into question just a little bit here.
And there's an example of a forehand that probably would have won the point against most teams, but not at the level of Cooper Molenveld. She traveled awfully far to try and drive that ball. Left her side of the court open.
Yeah, and Maturka, I think she's basically in about the third year of her career in paddle, Mark. I mean, she is talented. I love what I see so far. But like we know, there's no shortcut. You've got to see the best players to be able to compete against the best players. So this is an eye opener, and according to Heather Propp last night, she's not going to back down. She embraces this challenge here. She couldn't wait for this potential matchup in the semis.
Right over there from Molenveld. The best players will teach you what you need to do better. Cooper and Molenveld are definitely in that class. Cooper's serve has gotten so good. She had a tough year with it a couple years ago, but it's really improved the last 2 seasons. Wait to get on the board.
Yeah, she's a former national champ with Floor Hanna. She's got talent. She's got a lot of offensive capabilities, and I'm happy for her. Her wrist injury appears to be in her rearview mirror here.
No, she's a great athlete. The only thing you worry about her is you worry that Juana Raya is affecting her game in a negative way.
Exactly.
Back to deuce. Look at that serve. She's just firing the serve in, driving from her legs. Love how well she's serving these days.
Yeah, and I love it. She's going after the ball, Mark. Real good aggressive play.
That was great overhead, deep in the court to Propp. Great pace, hard ball to chase down. Point for 3-love.
I love the spot right there.
Yeah, that trouble all started when Molenveld reached for that volley.
Yep, but to Maturka's credit, she took that short ball, put it right between them, and forced a volley error from both of them in one play.
That's pretty impressive.
It's fun to make one person miss. Make them both miss, that's great. Mark, on a cold winter day, how key is it going to be for Heather Propp to... She's got to really lob well for this match to become ultra competitive.
Great lob from Molenveld. Yeah, you saw that big Maturka forehand there. But Cooper Molenveld smartly bailed.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cooper and Molenveld just have extraordinary net coverage and court coverage as a whole here, and that's why I think I would really, Heather Propp is really kind of a player who needs a couple of shots, and then she can carve up her opponents and create openings. But, it is based on, really good lobbing.
Look at them close the net there. They're hitting a lot of hard overheads at Maturka. That's one of the questions you always ask new players is, can you drive the ball off the wires? Driving the ball off the deck is far easier for tennis players.
And as we've seen, the players will goat someone into a shot or bait them into hitting that shot because they know they're in perfect condition to cover the next drive, even if it's, a beautiful ball off the back screen. They want that volley right there.
Was in great position there, but just missed the volley. That's great volleying from Cooper Molenveld. Prop hit a couple of good forehands in the right spot. And there again, you see a little bit of the inexperience from Maturka. The ball's got to go over the net. You can miss it long, that's okay. They may volley it.
Yeah, and she had
nothing good's going to happen.
Yeah, and she had a little opening. She's a little quick, at the trigger, I would say, Mark, right there. And that's where you just kind of learn to.
Look at Cooper's activeness. He's just all over the net. Oh, cut winner from Cooper. Cooper looks great early.
Yeah, they look rock solid here.
Just to recap, it's 2-love, add in Cooper Molenveld. That's a dangerous overhead for Molenveld there.
Yeah, I just think Turk and Prop got to get some lobs deep here. They've got to try to get Cooper Molenveld right there, one step beyond the service line. That's what they need.
And there's exactly what you talked about earlier, Patty, where they kind of baited Maturka into driving that ball, Cooper on top of the net, and then Cooper hits the volley behind him.
Yeah, Mark, that's a shot where we know, Cooper just baited her, and it's just kind of like, bring it. I know, Marie, you got a lot of forehand, but that's where she's kind of goading her into the shot. And oftentimes I think the top players in the game have the ability to not pull the trigger so much on the first opportunity, even the second. They've got to try to figure out how they can, screw up the tempo here for Molenveld and Prop, who are just, they're just pulling the trigger at first offensive opportunity. And it's somewhat predictable, Mark, and that's where the deception needs to come into it, and just having that willingness to throw up lob after lob to try to get a bigger opening, because you need to create bigger openings because of the reach that the Molenveld Cooper, team has.
And they're probably serving to Molenveld is so difficult. She's got such a big return off of both wings.
Yeah, and what a great spot drive on that return. Right in between the two players, pulled Heather over a little bit. Oof, Cooper follows up.
I don't see Prop being able to come in behind that ball. That's a long way for her to travel, especially with Cooper taking that ball so early.
Well, and she's had knee problems. She's had knee surgery. So, here you look up and you're looking at a Molenveld or Cooper forehand, and then you're also looking at the partner of that player on the service line already. So right away, if I'm Prop, I'm thinking staying back.
Cooper, there you go. Cooper's such a smart player. Love her blitzing.
Great adjustment early on from Prop. I mean, I just don't think she can get herself in a good enough position with the return of serves that Cooper and Molenveld have here to control play or to dictate play off of that first volley. That's where Maturka does have a little bit more quickness, but she too will have to get well, in from where Heather's hitting her first volley from.
Big shout out to Kati Julia, Marita Molenveld's college tennis coach, who's tuning in from Dallas, Texas to watch. We have fans everywhere, Patty Hogan.
Mark, we even have fans in London. We have, I believe, the sisters, friends of yours, Mark, Sarah and Suzanne.
The Lanches, they're terrific.
Former APTA board members tuning in, enjoying the action. They too were wondering. Yeah, they too were wondering why Janet Mazzola didn't take off her jacket in the early match, Mark.
Great action there. So the two-handed backhand from Maturka.
Yeah, look at that quickness from Maturka. I like that she closed in, followed that play. Unfortunately, you got the hands of Molenveld and Cooper up there at the net. I mean, the looks of this.
Very impressed with the way Maturka's playing the wires and lobbing. Not great lobbing, but she's in control.
But doesn't it feel like Cooper and Molenveld are just so dialed?
Viking. One ball to rule them all. One ball is consistently chosen for the sport's highest level tournaments, league play, social events, and weekend outings. Viking. The the last 25 years, we remained the overwhelming choice. Viking, unleash the warrior in you. The official ball of the APTA, the official ball of the National Championships and President's Cup, and of course, the official ball of the Grand Prix Series. So what do you see so far, Patty Hogan?
Started out of the box, and you could just see Cooper Molenveld ready to go, and just dominant play right now. Just a little glimmer of hope for Prapa Maturka right there on that last game. They were able to, pull off a break. But the problem here is just the return game of Molenveld Cooper is outstanding, Mark, and they're just applying so much pressure against Maturka and Prop on that first volley that, like I said, Heather started staying back. I do think they're going to have to adjust formations because I just don't think there's anywhere to hit the ball right now with the way Molenveld and Cooper are striking it.
You could see that fault was simply caused by all the powerful returns, trying to hit a perfect serve.
Yeah. And you're not going to hit a perfect serve wide to Cooper with her two-handed backhand anyway.
No, nothing about that would be perfect. Love 30. And that's just the pressure of the returns, no question. Again, Cooper down, hitting the ball down, charging behind it.
Oh, great little pickup.
Looking for Molenveld, and Molenveld wasn't there.
Yeah, great little pickup from Maturka. You could see how as soon she set her paddle on her backhand early, she knew where that ball was going to end up and just flick that ball up over her head. Great play. A little spark. Yep, but a little spark from Maturka Prop. They're going to need a lot of sparks back to back.
Rare point with Cooper Molenveld in the backcourt. It's like about 80% of the play has been the reverse. It's a good lob from Molenveld, pushing Prop off the net, stepping in. There's Cooper with the blitz. Boy, she just puts so much pressure on you with her athleticism.
I almost feel like Prop and Maturka would be better playing the baseline more than at the net. There's just nowhere. They're not getting into the points off their first volley, and it's just a struggle for coverage here. But again, it's just because of Cooper Molenveld. They're just spot on with their play right here. Great quickness from Maturka out of that ad court.
She got baited into driving the ball and survived it. This is going to be a great learning experience for her.
It's just so tricky when you're playing here, and here's Maturka, and she's clearly got all the skills.
Quick too, really quick.
Yeah, she's got it all. But it's just hard to not pull that trigger, and I just think the better the team on the other side of the net is, the longer you have to wait to pull the trigger. You've got to, like right there, Prop had a little deception, held her shot, and then the lob just got them off tempo, and they took over the net. I love the shot from Prop.
Yeah, it's passing in those 50-50 balls. I mean, in tennis, you get a 50-50 ball, you better hit it because it may not come again. In paddle, you're probably going to get 6 more, and that's in the next 10 shots.
Mark, the other thing I think here is I like this setup with Maturka to the left of our screen and Prop sort of in a position to be a little bit more of a volleyer. I just think Maturka's quickness is something they can take advantage of in her court coverage, hitting many more of the overheads here possibly.
Cooper's just looking all over the court. She misses that one, but that was a really good swing. She caught the top of the tape, but she looks great.
Really good little hands lob from Maturka right up the line over Molenveld's head. Uh-oh.
Like that overhead, huh?
Well, we don't really want her to hit it to Cooper's backhand necessarily. I love that overhead right there, little roller. She let that ball drop, put her grip way over.
Molenveld had her off the net, but misses the forehand.
Yep, but I like the play. This is what I'm saying. I like Maturka being, a little bit to the left of Heather Prop, just to take advantage of some of her. She's just got an extraordinary quickness out here.
A lot of physical skills. Good get in the nick. But that's the ball you're talking about. She's deep in the court. Looks like a ball she could drive, but Molenveld's on top of the net. Punishes her, volleys behind her. I'd like to see her play some shots in sequence more. A couple of good lobs, push them off, and then hit that drive.
But Mark McTurka also, I think, can hit the off-speed ball as well. I think that's one of the, when she can figure out how to throw that in there, you know, just shorten up her swings at times, not hit, you know, the same mile per hour shot.
Great blitz there from her. She misses the volley, but she really surprised him. 30-all. It's Cooper's first fault of the match.
40.
Like the action on the overhead from Cooper. You saw her kick out her right leg there, and you saw the ball hit the screen. A lot of action moved over. McTurka handled it beautifully, but the more variety in the spins that you have as a player, the more you can open up the court.
Oh, brilliant lob volley from Cooper.
Look at the quickness of McTurka right there, Mark. Coming way up that screen. She played that shot beautifully.
And smart to lob it. Oh, she looked for the spike there. Just a little far to travel. Didn't have her feet under her. Back to deuce. Good action, Patty.
Yeah, she didn't have her feet under her, and she looked up, and Molenveld was on top of the net. Even if it had the shot gone over, Mirta would have had a routine volley. And that's what I'm saying. You know, I just think the more years you play, you get playing against the better players. You learn. You gotta, even though you have the ball of life for that spike shot, if there's nowhere to go, you gotta just throw up a lob.
Volley from Molenveld there. Well, Cooper is everywhere.
Yep, and a little lob volley from McTurka out there, and I liked where she put that ball. She got both players to swing at it. I think that's it. I think that's what she's got to pay attention to. I mean, if you just lob Molenveld or you just lob Cooper and you cause no question as to who's going to hit the ball, they're dead in this match. But I think if she can spot some of those lobs, cause a little confusion, that'll bode well for Prop and McTurka.
You see how many overheads Cooper's hit at her at this point, 5 or 6. Different speed, different angles, different spin. 2 points from the set.
You're always facing a blitz, give up the net, but the problem is you give up the net to Cooper and Molenveld, and they're all over every shot here.
Yeah, Molenveld misses that one wide. But I love the much better pace of play from McTurka and Prop there. And there she catches Molenveld closing.
Yeah, that was a great lob. Really deep lob out of the ad court. And as we've seen in a million paddle matches, Mark, all it takes is 1 or 2 shots and it can change everything.
Yep.
Little bit of bounce right here in Prop and McTurka.
Great footwork. Cooper, what a get from Molenveld. He managed not to fall down. That's a great game. 5-2.
Good hustle.
Yeah, like
Well
Mark.
played point.
Yeah, and you know, kudos to McTurka and Prop there. They just had, you know, a couple of good hands plays on that.
Here's a replay.
You know, really good court coverage from Cooper and Molenveld, which we would expect at this point. She made a great get to that ball.
McTurka
that was
with a
fun.
swing and a miss there.
Yeah, we're at 5-2 first set. Semifinal action. Winner will play the winner of the other semifinal, which Mark, I'm not sure when they're going to start the Falls Murphy match, as we saw their quarterfinals. I think was starting later than this, and I'm not sure if they're on a court yet.
Doesn't look like it. That match only ended maybe 50 minutes ago. The score of the match is 5-2. First set, Cooper Molenveld. Heather Prop to serve at 2-5, first set.
All right, and you got to love this. This is the veteran move from Heather Prop, taking a lot of time, talking to her slightly less experienced partner here, and just kind of saying, look, follow my lead here, and we have to be patient here. Good things will come to those who wait. We got to wait it out just a tiny bit here. You know, just playing longer points, not pulling the trigger so early on the point, even if they have, like, the shot of life on their forehand.
You see Prop staying back on her serve, which I think is a real smart move.
Sure, and you see Prop over in that ad court, Mark, and you know the couple of times she's been over in that ad court, she's made some things happen that have been really good for her team here. You know, Prop mostly plays the deuce court with her partners, but obviously she can play both sides, and you know she's got that the chipping and a little bit of deception. Who knows? You know, little things like that can change a match.
Love 30. Behind that ball. Just so smart from Cooper. She just sees them looking at each other, knows immediately and blitzes behind them. Just recognition and athleticism. What a great combination. And that brings us to triple set point. And there it is. Game and first set. Cooper Molenveld. I think we're supposed to take a break here, but it looks like they're going straight into it. Assuming we have the score correct. Nope, it looks like they are taking a break.
But that's not the one, is it? Okay. You want this one back? Here.
It's a mini break, Mark.
Warming up a new ball. Okay, we'll be back in a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.
They've done it again. Johanna Runt and Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnisch and Anna Maria Sabori.
Okay, we're back. Welcome back to the second set of the semifinal match. Cooper Molenveld, Maturka Prop. Looks like the players got started early.
Yeah, Mark, just lights out from Cooper Molenveld from the first point of this match. Just dominated play early on. We saw some real positive things toward the end of that second set. I mean, to the end of the first set. You know, Cooper Molenveld pulled it out 6-2, but I feel like Prop and Maturka are feeling a little bit better about things right now. That was a wonderful shot from Prop.
They've just got to slow the pace of play down right now.
So, Mark, how do you slow down the pace of play? For those at home,
lobbing better.
You just got to lob more, and you can't pull the trigger when you get the first opportunity and you look up and you have two players on top of the net with the skill, the reach, the wingspan, the height of Molenveld Cooper. You've got to push them back off the net. That's dependent upon, you got to get some deep lobs here. Then your offense will come naturally from that for Prop and Maturka.
And there's a ball that Maturka just wasn't ready to drive. She kind of looked at it and said, oh, I can hit this ball, but she hadn't put herself in an offensive position with her feet. 40-15.
Yeah.
A surprising miss there from Cooper. Gives them life this game.
Yeah, it looked like last second decision. She just stuck her paddle out. Not a good play. really impressed, Mark, with Molenveld's footwork. I mean, what? I mean, she's always so talented, and her game is really just amazing. And like I said, going back to semis of nationals last year, I mean, you know, they had a shot to win last year's nationals. They were totally like a phenomenal, legit team, and it's really fun to watch them play.
And to your point, Patty, that last shot was another example of Majerka driving the ball when Cooper Molenveld were on top of the net, and that's the pace they want to avoid. Ended up getting punished by that. Great view of the HUD at Hyde Park. Looks like the other semi is headed out. There are the four women in the background. Molenveld misses that forehand.
You see the quickness of Majerka there, Mark, on her first volley. She hit that ball and then just closed in on top of the net. I'm liking what I see.
That's not a winning overhead there.
Well, I'm thinking about where she should go when she hits her overheads, Mark, and I just don't think it's the Cooper two-handed backhand.
That's never a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to say, is it Cooper's forehand or backhand? Is it Molenveld's forehand or backhand? And then be disciplined, a little bit more discipline. I think she's just moving the ball a little bit too much.
And Cooper misses that one.
Oof. Playing with fire right there.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be hitting the ball.
Right, and that's the quickness of Majerka, but unfortunately, like, that's what you're going to learn as she plays more and more. It's holding that volley a little bit. And you're better off, like, trying to hit behind someone instead of in front of them at times.
A lot of errors that game. Will not be pleased with that one.
Yeah, I don't mind it, Mark. You know, she forced the action. She followed in off a return to serve. That formula worked well for them, you know, in the early goings in the set. And I think her applying that pressure is a great thing for their team. You're just not going to make them
That's
all.
her game. Yep, that's her game.
Wow.
Great drop shot there from Cooper. She's just all over the net. And Majerka's got to figure out she's got to lob that ball.
But I had fun. I love this camera angle on Majerka, and you could see her quickness there. And, you know, she's got a lot of confidence. She's willing to hit any shot. I think, you know, she'll gain some wisdom and match experience and understand which of her shots she needs to leave behind. And that was just a phenomenal volley right there.
Fake the drop volley. You could see Majerka take a step into the court and then push the ball behind her.
And that's what we're talking about, holding the volley. When you can wait longer, you can kind of catch players wrong-footed possibly. A little off balance.
Oh, had the court open. Didn't convert.
Yep, just forced the action there. She took her shot, they covered it. Again, I just think they have to have a little, Majerka's just gonna, you know, she'll gain from this match a lot, and just say, you know, when that wall up at the net averages about 5'9" or 5'10", and they've got the wingspan and their athletic ability, like you said, and you're just gonna have to, you just can't pull the trigger so early in these points.
Yeah, because it goes to the pace of play. It's just too fast for Majerka and Prop. They've got to play slower. They've got to be willing to hit 10, 15, 30 lobs.
And Mark, one of the things that I often see with these real talented high-level tennis players like Majerka clearly, you know, is she's got all the skills. It's you know, you play more regional action and you don't have the opportunity to be on the court against the game's great players. You just don't necessarily learn what shot selection is going to, you know, help you dig your way out of a hole, because she can probably overpower many of the players she plays against.
And that's what makes today such a wonderful opportunity for her. Because as you said earlier, there's no replacing experience. You have to play against these top players to find out what you can and can't do. A little confusion in the middle there.
Yeah, and you know, that was created because Prop held her paddle, set it early, and then just waited and waited, held the shot. And Cooper pulled the trigger too early right there. That was a pretty good volley. The ball stayed nice and low. You know, Cooper's a high ball hitter. She wants that higher bouncing ball. The lower one is not in. Good slow down play a little bit, chalk talk. Get Maturka really on board with where Heather's going to serve the ball and what to look for. Ooh.
Cooper puts so much pressure on you with that return. She's just on top of you. It feels like you're playing uphill.
Yeah, just a low contact point for Heather. Tough to take that shot straight ahead where the net gets higher towards the post. Love the variety on the overheads from Maturka. She's got to learn which to use, but you can see she can move her grips around. She's got the roller. She's got a little bit of a slash.
Or misses that one. Hanging in there. This would be a big game for Maturka Prop to hold.
Oh my gosh!
As you can tell, Prop was not happy with that one.
But again, that's just the pressure of the knowing you're gonna face in the next shot.
Yep,
So again,
no question.
you know, the return of serve pressure that Mullenville and Cooper have demonstrated throughout that match just is in your head as the opposition on your serve.
Great action here. And Maturka's got to avoid the Cooper backhand. She volleys the forehand a little too much also.
Cooper, just to give her that awareness of what was going to happen next.
You see Prop smartly playing a lot of lobs, slowing the pace to play down.
And I like Prop out of the ad court in this scenario, Mark. I just think Heather's, you know, far cagier at this point. And she kind of understands how to break down a net team just a little bit more than Maturka does.
The problem is Maturka's not willing to lob the ball 3 or 4 times. She's just going to take a cut at that second or third or fourth ball. Just too fast. Overheads are fast. Everything's fast.
And Mark, because she's 7 times as quick as either of us, that is a tendency. You know, when you're in your first couple of years of playing and against the game's best, it's so hard to be disciplined to kind of wait and hold your shots. She's just kind of feeding into, you know, she loves the challenge of the shots from Mullenville Cooper, but it's working against them for their team.
Yeah, and you can almost feel like her heartbeat is up. Like she just got to knock it down about 10 beats a minute.
Uh-oh. Mark, I'm really impressed with Mullenvelde's play here. She is just rock solid, steady. And, you know, she's learned to be patient with her shot selection. Big difference in her game over the last couple of years.
Cooper catches the lead cord.
Just a little unlucky. All right, big point here for Heather Prop. Yeah, you can just see she's got a willingness to throw up more lobs out of the ad court, and that's really, if they can turn this match around, I think this is a key.
She's got him off balance a little bit. She's pushing him off the net, making him hit tough balls.
Yeah, she's getting him beyond the service box.
Got away with that try, but she was awfully deep in the court when she made it.
Yeah, but she's got the quickness. I mean, I'm just saying, you can see against most people that she plays against, all of these shots would be winners.
Oh, great spike. Nope, I guess it was called long. Game, Cooper Molenveld, and they lead 3-1, second set. Yeah, she's very impressive. Great physical skills.
Yeah, she's just sort of getting a little bit sucked into the action, and I think Cooper and Molenveld are well aware that, you know, she wants things to be, she doesn't mind it when it speeds up, but it's not helping Maturka Prop necessarily as a team.
Certainly helping Cooper Molenveld as a team.
Yeah, Molenveld serving here, up 6-2, 3-1, second set. Will Cooper and Molenveld be in Boston, Mark?
I believe so. They're scheduled to be, I should say that. Patty, with COVID raging, is anybody ever guaranteed to be anywhere these days?
No, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, what a great little pickup. Oh, what a shot.
Yeah, great get there. Great speed. Maturka.
But, you know, great court awareness right there from Cooper. She just had that shot. She had a few choices, and she threw it right over to the open court. Really good first volley. Got way down low. Mark, you mentioned before, Maturka just kind of, you know, goes for her offense from a little deep in the court. Again, that's, you know, will be one of her takeaways, I think, from you know, watching this match, however it ends up.
Ooh, that was trouble right there. Molenveld's winding up, Cooper's blitzing. She just misses that one.
Yeah,
That's
really
the
good.
lead court there.
Yep, good return, great spot. Not a super deep serve, so Prop kind of got to just pull the trigger, and that's her signature little forehand return to serve. It's been hugely effective over the years. Yeah, but you just see the hands from Maturka out of that ad court, Mark. I mean, she's doing a beautiful job handling some really difficult overheads here.
Physical skills are really impressive. You can see how short in the court she's playing. Oh, what a pickup! But she gave up on that ball. But by playing as short in the court as she is, that's accelerating the pace of play.
Well, it's that fine line, you know? It's hard to do it, but, I mean, this is a great point that she's playing right here.
Tremendous. She's fun to watch.
Yeah, I just think she's got to think about deeper lobs. She's just too quick and just kind of putting the ball up and can get every ball back, like a defensive-minded mode, versus that she's hitting a lob that's really going to open up the court. And right there, you know, she missed a little wide, Mark, but she didn't have to go that wide. She's just got to think about more depth.
And then also, as you commented earlier, Patty, she's playing one shot at a time. She's not playing in sequence. Why don't you elaborate on that a little bit?
She's sort of reacting to the shots that Cooper and Molenville are hitting, Mark, I think, is where we're going with this. And she's getting the ball back versus thinking about, okay, I'm playing out here and it's a team sport and I got Heather Prop, highly ranked player over there. How do I bring her in this? How do we work together to try to break down this incredible net play that Molenville and Cooper, are displaying here? And it's just not going to be drive. It's just not going to break them down. It's got to be the deep lobbing.
There's the wires very well.
That's a good deep lob. Push Molenville way back. But I think it's you've got to get them back with a couple of lobs. Can't just be the one. Because every time Cooper and Molenville go in automatically off a deep ball, then they close right there because it's predictable that Maturka's going to throw in a drive right there. Where you can see here Cooper and Molenville playing back a little bit because they know Prop will throw up some more lobs.
Great exchange. Boy, Molenville played some point there.
Yeah, really smart play. She just held that volley as well, got the ball. Prop was making a move, kind of looking for a ball to the middle of the court, and Molenville just hit it straight ahead, forced the volley error.
And so Cooper and Molenville are obviously close friends. They seem so happy to be on the court together. A lot of smiling.
Yeah, a lot of positive vibes.
And Molenville chooses to stay back. Cooper with a somewhat ill-conceived blitz, I'd have to say, Patty.
Mm-hmm.
Lob short and follow it in.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Garavello once started his women's D clinic off with okay, today we're going to work on lobbing short and blitzing. They're like, why would we do that? He said, I don't know. Why did you do that in your last league match?
Exactly. Good angle of that paddle preparation from Cooper, setting her paddle up early and deciding what overhead she's going to hit. Oh, good little sneaky shot from Prop. Great pickup from Molenville.
Play from Prop. Well, Molenville is moving really well, isn't she?
Ah, great quickness.
Up. Yeah. There you see all the movement at the net from Maturka. Really kind of caught her off balance. She kind of took herself out of the play.
Yeah, she did. That was kind of a weird, and it was kind of a routine lob that ended up winning the point.
Isn't that the essence of paddle? You get 4 or 5 big drives, and they volley it, then you hit like some stupid little lob, and they get out of position, and it bounces 3 times for a winner. I think that one missed wide.
But you can see, the smarts of Prop. She saw the angle that, the only way Molenville could get that ball over the play was go way cross court, and Prop kind of snuck behind Maturka over there. Had some sneaky speed there. Great shot up the line.
Great back end. Catching Molenveld on the right hip. Should have been over another step.
And Molenveld was looking for that ball cross court because that's where Maturka's hit that ball up to this point in the match with her two-handed backhand. So credit to Maturka. She put the ball up the line and caught Molenveld looking the other way.
Let's add Maturka Prop.
And Mark, closing out paddle matches, not as easy as it looks. And, Cooper Molenville just cruising here, but there's a lot of positives going on now with Maturka and Prop.
Yeah, but again, that last point, playing too fast. That's a blitz maybe she gets away with against a lesser team. but not at this level. And you couldn't ask for a better mentor than Heather Prop.
Yeah.
Always positive, very supportive partner, always hits the right shot. Molenveld rushed that serve. A little intimidated by the Maturka return. Oh, Cooper with a tremendous volley from way off the net.
Oh, what a nice little shot from Prop there.
Cooper's such a good athlete.
I got to say, really good overheads from Molenveld. You can just see she just waited for that shot, came, was able to keep that ball low and, forced a screen error, which we haven't seen too many. When the Turkish sets her mind to lob that ball out of the screen, she makes the shot most of the time.
Oh, great volley from Cooper, and it's 4-1 second set, and this thing is going down the drain fast.
Do you have anything to say from Viking, Mark?
I thought I said everything I had to say from Viking.
I just didn't know if you needed to say anything else.
I think Viking is tremendous. Is that good?
Great sponsor, a longtime sponsor of the sport. That's great. Yeah, so Maturka and Prop are in a hole, Mark. I'm just guessing that neither of us feels... I think it's a pretty deep hole to try to dig out of because I just don't feel like Molenveld and Cooper are going to... They're not giving anything away today.
No. And we talked about it numerous times. They've just got to slow the pace of play down. It's possible Maturka getting rid of the hat, though, might make the difference.
Yeah, and now they're matching colors, Mark. So, there's power in purple and black.
This is such a great lob set at the whole point. Cooper blitzes behind it. Take over the net with virtually no risk. Cooper is just so active at the net. See how well Prop lobs. Got a little deep in the court.
And again,
That one.
out of the ad court, Mark, that's where, I think Prop's doing a good job when she switches over there of dictating the pace of play. And that's what Maturka really doesn't seem to be able to do yet from the baseline. She can do everything else. I just don't see that she can dictate and she can slow down the pace of play enough to impact players of the caliber of Cooper and Molenveld. And few people on the planet can, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Great overhead there from Maturka. Good serve from Maturka there. This is that one. She definitely has the whole package physically.
Yeah, she's got so much talent.
Back-to-back faults there.
You want them to dig in deep, extend play here. Even though they might not be able to pull this one out, just kind of making a dent into, forward progress for their team and figuring out how to, claw your way back into a set where nothing's going your way.
Yep.
shout out to all the umpires who help out the APTA, especially Mike Yaminsky, Greg Robertson, Mike Stulak. I have an all-star team getting ready for March 5th Junior Nationals, Mark.
I'm sure it'll be a great event like it always is, Patty.
Greg Morgan's doing a great job. Drew Broderick, tournament co-chairs, and really going to be an exciting day. And hopefully we get a tremendous turnout like we've had in the last couple of years. It should be exciting.
Well spotted forehand there from Maturka. Yeah, she's kind of aiming for that right hip now. You can see her getting better as the match goes on.
Dave Broderick from Fiddler's Elbow is watching the action. He thinks Cooper and Mulliville are so good, Mark, with their shot selection, their court coverage. He thinks they have a legitimate shot to win Nationals in March.
Who would I be to argue with Dave Broderick?
You just don't argue with Dave Broderick, Mark. No, he's following the action and really impressed with the play of Cooper Mullenveld.
There Mullenveld gets caught reaching. Well played from Maturka.
Really good spot for that drive.
A big game for them to win, get back to 4-3 on serve.
Mark, I'm going to check and see if we can get an update on the other semifinal.
You want me to go out there and ask somebody?
Yeah, can you go out, Mark, and get the score for me?
Sure, no problem.
Wow, what reach. That was a beautiful shot up the line from a Turkin. Mullenveld just stuck her paddle out, controlled her forehand volley, just waited for the ball to hit her paddle and just rebound off. Good, really good soft hands.
Good lob there. Again, Prop opening up the court with her lobbing. That's a good overhead. Yeah, and then Prop beats her in the middle. You just on down the line. She's leaning to the middle, and Prop picks it up. Just too short a ball to do that. Got to trust your partner there.
I mean, look at Prop. Prop is playing a really good, sneaky good match right here. You know, all the attention's really on Maturka because she's sort of pulling the trigger a little soon in the points, like we said. But again, Prop is just playing a rock-solid match over there, just trying to do whatever she can, sort of break down on a continuing basis, you know, the defensive abilities of Mullenveld and Cooper.
Great move there from Maturka.
Yeah, Prop literally just chips away at this thing.
Another great lob from Prop. That's a great move from Maturka. Again, she recognizes they're both watching the ball. Blitz. Big point right here.
All started, Mark, because of a great lob. Mark Caravaggio and Morgan have won the first set of the other semifinals 6-0 over Murphy and Falls. Kind of not a surprise. Falls suffered the hamstring injury during that quarterfinal match, and we had a lot of questions about how she could perform in the semis, and it doesn't look like, it looks like they're in a huge uphill battle.
So, Patty Hogan, which match is going to end first?
Ooh, that's a really good question, Mark.
That's why I asked it.
I think this one.
This is certainly a big game for.
Yeah,
Cooper
Cooper and
Prop.
Cooper and Mullenveld just so strong here.
Dangerous drive there from Prop. Mullenveld all over the net, which is never a good thing, quite honestly.
Shout out
Not
to-
quite the athlete that Cooper is.
Shout out to Matt Delaney, Marstown Field Club. Appreciating the commentating, Mark, mostly from me, but a little bit from you.
Well, a little bit. I'm thrilled with that.
I'm only
There's been
kidding.
None from me.
I made that up, Mark. Hey, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Matt's a big fan of the lob. He's watched his sister-in-law Bobo play forever.
And no one is a bigger fan of the lob. And there Maturka gets beaten again. Hopefully she's going to watch this match and kind of see it and understand it a little bit better. Just
Yeah,
cannot afford to be aggressive when the other team is on top of the net like that.
But it's fun, She loves this style of play, Mark. But
Oh, she's fun to watch.
really, really fun. But it just doesn't. It's not breaking down a team the caliber of volleying that we have with Cooper and Mullenveld.
That was a huge hold there. Mullenveld go up 5-2.
Yeah, the court's smaller than a tennis court, Mark. You have to figure out how to create open spaces for yourselves, and just when you have a really good volleying team, you only can break them down by a little bit of deception and some really good lobbing in the women's game, and just don't see it enough out of Maturka right now. And I do see it, when Prop has slid over to that ad court. We see it from her, and that's just match experience against top players. 5-2 second set. Semifinals from Cincinnati. That's got to feel good.
There. Yep, good recognition there from Maturka.
Yeah.
That return from Mullenveld kind of sat up.
Hey, that's the easiest point that they won all day. That's the thing. They have to work so hard and put such a string of consecutive shots together to even make a dent against Cooper and Mullenveld. What great play. I would have loved to have seen her at another drop shot. Mullenveld covered one. She had Cooper back on her heels. And hit it kind of right to her. Keep the point going. Uh-oh, back to that Cooper backhand.
Great hands from Cooper. movement they're causing Maturka to make on this point. Molenveld with a speedy get. Not a word you often use with Molenveld.
You know, 2 years ago, I wouldn't use that word, but I'm so impressed by her court coverage. Her footwork is vastly improved, Mark.
No question.
It was so fast when they were warming up and bundled up. I couldn't even tell it was Mirta Molenveld. She was so fast.
Wow. So what happened there? The ball wide?
Not certain.
Well, it's either 30-all or 15-40. And 15-40 is match point.
I think that's it, Mark.
That is match point. Okay, game, set, match. Cooper Molenveld, 6-2, 6-2. Patty, Maturka is fun to watch. A lot of talent, a lot of ability.
Yep, she just needs to gain more experience against the game's top players, and I think she continues and plays with a veteran like Heather Prop. Her game is on the ascent, and I look forward to seeing more of her in the future.
Any closing thoughts of the match?
You know, I just closed. Those are all my remarks,
That
Mark.
was it?
That was it.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
let's talk a little bit about the finals, Patty. What do you think about the finals?
it looks like we're slated for Caravaggio Morgan final against Cooper Molenveld. The betting money was on that matchup here in the Midwesterns, and I mean that's going to be a fun match because it's a matching up of athletic ability, quickness, court coverage, the whole thing, and I think it's going to be really exciting if it plays out that way. And again, we don't know. Stranger things have happened, and Falls and Murphy could come back. I'm not sure where they are in the second set, but here we go. We see the action. Again, I just think Caravaggio and Morgan just, have a lot as a team, and I just don't know that there's enough offensive abilities from Murphy and Falls to put a dent in the armor. I think they've got great defense, and they've got a lot of offensive as well, offensive capabilities. See if we can't get a score of this match. Falls serving. That's Murphy at the net in white on the far side. Allison Morgan just lobbed that ball out of the ad court. Spencer Caravaggio is in the deuce court.
Cardi Falls is dealing with a hamstring injury earlier in the day. So we'll see how that hampers her play. She looked pretty good the third set of their quarterfinal. But this is several levels up from that.
Mark, upon completion of this match, what's our estimate for when the final would be played? Will these players probably resume play less than an hour this afternoon from Cincinnati?
I would think, especially if Caravaggio and Morgan win easily, they haven't lost too many games today, so I imagine they're going to be eager to get going with the final.
Typically, players could take an hour, Mark, up to an hour between the semi and the final. But if the players who have the shorter amount of time have a willingness to jump on the court, then they would do so.
Yep. It was 6-love, 3-love, we believe is the score.
Thanks for going outside and checking, Mark.
Oh, you did it last time.
Yeah, good teamwork. Good rip from Murphy out of the ad court. A lot of credit to Falls, Mark, here, having an injury in that quarterfinals, and she's hanging in here. She's a gritty player.
That was definitely a whoops miss from Allison Morgan there. Morgan scheduled to play in Boston with Charlotte Sikora, who had to drop out late here. do you see Caravaggio Morgan matching up with Cooper Molenveld?
I mean, I like the matchup for them potentially. I think that, Spencer's one of the players who, her star is on the rise in this game, and she's got tremendous amount of potential, and she's got a lot of physical skill, Mark. And I think she's a real competitor just by her nature, and I think she's done a good job the last couple of years, and she's had the opportunity to get on the court with lots of different partners, and she's vastly improving. I would definitely favor. I would give the edge to Molenveld and Cooper. Having seen that last match, they just dominated play early on. And they have no weakness in their game that we saw in that last match.
Falls Cooper on the board, 1-3 second set. You surprised that Allison Morgan's playing the back here?
I don't know, Mark. I think she's. I guess I'm not surprised, just that I consider that she's got a lot more experience against the better players in the game. I think when Allison plays with Charlotte Sikora, we've seen her in the deuce court.
You only say that because Caravaggio's got more offense off the deck from the backcourt.
Sure.
Than Morgan does.
Yeah, she's got natural, easy power, Mark. I've seen her hit the ball. She hits a clean ball. She's a solid ball striker. But, I just think sometimes it comes down to some other things that are not so obvious. And just like in that match with Maturka and Prop, Maturka's got much more speed than Prop. But you could see the shot selection that you get out of Prop and how she kind of handled play and tried and could slow down play from the ad court, something we didn't see from Maturka. I think it's the same thing. I think that Morgan knows how to speed up play and slow down play just a little bit more at this point than Spencer does.
Yeah, I think that Cooper Molenveld will be a decent-sized favorite in the final.
I think you are spot on with that. Yeah, I think they came to this, and this was their tournament. It was really their tournament, I thought, from the beginning. And I think Morgan and Caravaggio will have a lot to say about that. And I expect they'll be really feisty if they get through this match, which it looks like they're going to get through this match. I think that they'll be feisty. And that was a little bit of a wild shot from Spencer. And
a little bit?
Just a little bit of a flyer. And that's where, to become super competitive and against the GameStop players, you just can't hit flyer like that. You've got to make every shot count, make them hit a volley, and then again eliminate when this happens. You can't make two return of serves in an error, and that's just what happens with inexperience. And that's where early on, maybe in Morgan's career, you saw that, and now you don't see that. So that's why I'm thinking Morgan over in that half court, but I know what you mean. Spencer's forehand, and I think Spencer's forehand might be more natural out of the ad court, Mark. Probably what you're alluding to than the deuce side. The ball does move differently, as you're hitting your return of serves, and sometimes players just get grooved in on one return of serve side rather than the other. Mark, do you ever get grooved in on one return of serve or the other, or basically it doesn't make a difference?
I never get grooved in on a return to serve. This will be a big game somehow. If Falls and Murphy can pull it out.
You got your wish. You got Caravaggio over in that ad court. And as you can
generates
see,
so much more offense off the deck.
yeah, and she does. She's got the two-handed backhand, so forehand, backhand, she really does have tremendous offensive capabilities.
She has not played a great game.
Yeah, she's a little spotty play right here. She's just got to not miss right now. Confusion maybe on the score? I'm a little confused on the score, Mark.
Of course. I don't know how it could be anything but add in. Played a lot of points for it to be anything else.
Yeah.
It's clearly deuce now.
Yep, tough fault there going wide to Allison Morgan again. Just put that ball in play. She could, Murphy can defend Morgan's return of serve. Good follow-up from Morgan. Yeah, she had to let that ball go through. She was forcing the action. She made a good hands play in the first volley, but a little bit out of her reach. Did she think she had Annika Cooper reach right there, Mark?
Apparently.
Really good return of serve. Murphy a little slow to get there. She didn't get really up to the service line on that and tried to come up with a little half volley. Yeah, what a well-placed lob. And you could just see, Falls just couldn't make a break for that ball to run back with that gimpy leg. Caravaggio and Morgan on a roll here. They won the first set 6-0. I believe they're up 5-2. Second set. Getting ready. Match up against Cooper Mullenveld in the women's final.
What'd you say the score is, Patty? I think it's 4-1.
Is it 4-1 or 5-2?
I think it's 4-1.
Okay, not sure why. Like right here, this is where Caravaggio just has to keep the ball in play. They've got control of this match, this set. And I just think that's where you don't have to force anything in this situation. You got to make Falls and Murphy be the ones to try to force any action. I mean, you want to keep your foot on the gas and close it out, but I just don't think you need to make any unforced errors doing that.
Recap, we believe it's 6-love, 4-1. 15-0.
Thank you, Mark. I walked outside for a second. I lost the score. When I went outside to get the score, I lost the score.
What did you get when you were outside?
I got lunch.
Oh, talk to me, Patty. Okay.
I mean, I was looking for Ann Sheedy's favorite chili, but I couldn't find any. Yeah, we don't see as many women serving the sidearm serve as we do in the men's game. You can see Caravaggio's serving that way, and I don't know if she's been doing that throughout the year, Mark. I just haven't seen her play enough to know. Yeah, again.
Service landing awfully short in the box.
Yeah, but Falls just couldn't make a move. You could just see she could not push off to try to make a play on that ball.
Okay, so looks like 1-5.
Yeah, good rip from Caravaggio out of that ad court. I mean, the deuce court on the return of serve. A lot of pressure, the hands. That's why, Caravaggio and Morgan potentially, Mark, it could be a really fun match to watch. Right now, Falls is really hurting. I don't think she's having much fun. It's a bummer to have an injury in a big tournament like this.
And there it is, game, set, and match. Caravaggio Morgan, 6-love, 6-1.
Yeah, Caravaggio Morgan, just too much offensive power, Mark, and, a lot of athleticism, shot making to go with that. And, Morgan and Falls had a long day. They had a really tough 3-set match, took a lot out of them, and it's clearly an injury occurred there. And we have the matchup that we all kind of expected in the finals with Cooper Molenville.
Okay, we're going to get a banner up on the screen once we get a time for the finals. Until then, we'll be right back after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by eNet Live.